Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. So yeah, we hit here one of the dotted lines that we put on the chart in, I think, the last video or the one before the last video as one of the possible targets for the move down here. And this was here the 30-cent level. Now that's been reached. I would need to double check which level that was because there are various ways of calculating here targets. This was one of them. Is one of these dotted lines. Next is 29.7 and 29.17. However, considering the strength of this decline, we might want to make a small change to the count because it doesn't make sense to count it like this anymore. As you are aware, this is just sort of the micro counting here we're looking at. So it is subject to change. But I have to tell you that, so first of all, it was completely the right decision to remain focused here on the downside. Yeah, we did say until we break above this trend line, we cannot confirm any upside, any trend change or anything. So the trend is further down and the perspective has to be on the downside. And the trend is down and the forecast remains to be focused on the downside until we break above this trend line. Yeah, so we have seen now a bit of a reaction at the, first of all, at our the sort of support level here at 30 cents, but also at the 30.6, 61.8 fib retracement, so 30.6 cents. That is one of the most relevant Fibonacci support levels, but I currently don't see enough of a signal of a bottom to say we have bottomed. So I'm actually looking forward to further downside here. And I'm also envisioning a wave 4 for the weekend. We talk about why. So I tried to come up with a micro count here, because I know a lot of people like to see the micro counting, even though it is very flexible, fragile, it has to change quite a bit. But either way, the entire chart itself has been like this for a while as a 1-2 setup. And condition for this setup to hold is, of course, that the 27.6 cent level is holding, because a sustained break below that level will probably push ADA to make new lows. Some people ask me, how would the subwave count actually look like if we were to make a new low? And I can just show you my thoughts around this, because it's good to know about it. But I mean, my logic is, we have a possible long trade setup here, as long as it breaks, okay? I did talk in many videos about how to approach this strategically. At the moment, if you're scaling in here, you're just catching the falling knife. That's not for everybody. Some people might want to choose to wait for a trend reversal first. So far, we haven't called that. So in the end, we are pushing further to the downside, okay? And it's not surprising because we haven't seen any trend change confirmation. You can really only talk about the trend has shifted as soon as you see any kind of a break through this trend line, an initial 5-wave move to the upside. All of that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. And even though this is a possible trend reversal area, we need to be watching these levels for indications of a reaction. Now, if no reaction happens, then the focus needs to remain on the downside. So, some people might want to wait first for that reversal. Some people care more about that, some not so much. It depends on your individual strategy. But yeah, how does this move down look like? So we would say we have obviously nearly 5 waves down complete. Now this would then probably be a wave 1 to the downside. Yeah, so we would then say, okay, the move up was probably just something like a WXY structure. And the move down here would be a wave 1. We would probably then react to the upside in a wave 2, come down in a third wave, move up in the fourth, and make a new low eventually with a wave 5. So that's absolutely still possible. The point is, we have seen the first impulse, possible impulse to the upside, and the wave 2 is always the first decent retracement, is always needed to confirm the trend change. Yeah, because yes, you have a first 5-wave move. That's the first level of confirmation the trend might be shifting, but not enough. You also always need the confirmation as an ABC structure to the downside, holding a higher low, ideally above the 78.6 fib level. Okay, now what's the micro count? So again, keep an open mind about this one and be flexible with your micro counting, but it can give us a good indication of where we might be bottoming. So I looked at this before the video, so let's see if I can still remember what I looked at and what I thought about really. So best I could tell here is of this, obviously we had our triangle high here. I would count this move, I think it was, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this low here was wave 1, and the move to the upside then here, wave 2. Based on that, I would even say we're now in the third. It should be a fourth and a fifth. So it pushes it down quite a bit. This is all within the scope of our support area, but of course it means we can come down quite a bit here in our larger support area. Let me just change here the wave degree. Now again, don't see this as a given. It can certainly turn around earlier, but this is an attempt trying to make sense of this chart, and it's hard to identify a structure and a countable structure here in this sort of messy diagonal. Within this third wave, I think we had a wave 1, possibly here 2. Would argue this might have been a 3 here, a 4 might be finished, but we need a break above today's low to confirm, and then we could get one more low here in wave 5 of 3, and then we might get that fourth wave here on the weekend. Yeah. So where could that fifth wave here end? So to get an idea about that, what we could be doing, we could take the length of the wave 1, go to the high of the 2, and then we're looking at the 1.618 extension as a possible target for the third. And then it gets us down to 29 cents pretty much, yeah? 29 cents, then we could get a 4 and a 5. So it seems at the moment reasonably likely that we will get below 30 cents again. So that's just sort of my best assessment here. And don't forget, you know, as long as we are below the trend line, that trend has to be, we have to be focused further on the downside, unfortunately. So yeah, the market sells off as long as it sells off. And if we then see a reaction, that's something to watch for anybody who wants to be a bit more aggressive with long positions. But for now, the trend is further down, and I think weekend could present us with another fourth wave here. Okay, that's my update about ADA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.